Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to make no-bake cookies and cream cheesecake. For the base, we have 20 pieces of Oreo cookies and 1/3 cup of butter. For the cookies, I will process it like this, and we will melt the butter. And that's Leonardo on the side. What we're gonna do next is to combine the melted butter and the Oreo crumbs until they resemble into wet sand. Just like this. We will set this aside and prepare our cheesecake tin. So I'm using a 9-inch round cheesecake pan that I will line with parchment paper at the bottom. This will ensure that we can remove the cheesecake from the bottom of the pan. Just like this, and then I will just cut the excess parchment paper from the side. And now we can dump the cookie crumbs that we made. Make sure to distribute the mixture evenly and compact it as best as you can. Just like this, and then put it in the fridge while we prepare the cheesecake filling. We have 500 grams of cream cheese. Each packet contains 250 grams, so we're going to be using 500 mils of cream, 15 pieces of Oreo, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 1/3 cup of sugar plus 2 tablespoons. First thing we need to do is to break up the Oreos into chunky crumbs. Just like what I'm doing here. And this is the texture that I am looking for. We will set this aside and we're gonna move on to the next step. Beat the cream until it reaches soapy stage. This is full fat cream as well. It is really important not to overbeat the cream. So this is the consistency that we're after. So we're gonna stop here and set this aside. Moving on, we're gonna beat the cream cheese. It is really important that your cream cheese is at room temperature. That will make the mixing and the texture of your cheesecake smooth. Then we can add the sugar. Then the vanilla. Occasionally scrape down the sides of the bowl. This will ensure that everything is being incorporated well. And then continue mixing. Next step is we're gonna add half of the cream first. Just to lighten up the cream cheese. And then add the remaining half of the cream. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Next step is to add the lemon juice. Lemon juice is really important in this recipe. There's no way around it. So make sure that you have lemon juice in the recipe. Then the next step is just to fold in the Oreo cookies. And this is done. Moving on, we're just gonna transfer the cheesecake filling into the cheesecake pan. Just like this. And we will leave this to set in the fridge for about 6 hours or preferably overnight. I leave mine in the fridge overnight. So make sure that you fill in the gaps on the sides. Give it a good tap. And then cover this with cling wrap and put it in the fridge. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, the art cheesecake has now completely set. What I'll do now is I'll gonna run a spatula on the sides of the cheesecake just to ensure that it will come out of the cheesecake pan. And the cheesecake is now ready. You can eat this as it is, or you can continue watching on how I decorated the cake. So I've got leftover Oreos. What I'm doing here is I am removing the filling from the Oreos. We don't need that. And then we're just gonna process this, or you can use the blender as well to make it into a fine crumbs. And this is what we're after. And now just sprinkle it all over the top of your cheesecake. At first I tried to put lettering on it, but I don't like it, so I'll just stick with just plain Oreo crumbs on top. Now I'm just smoothing it over. Now on the sides, I'm just using a mini Oreos, but I'm only using one part of the mini Oreos because if you use the sandwich Oreo, it's too thick. So I'm just putting mini Oreos all over the sides of the cake. I've got whipped cream here and Wilton 2D. I'm just gonna pipe some rosettes on top of the cheesecake, just like so. And then finally, I just kinda alternately put mini Oreos on top of the cream rosettes. And this is our finished product. I hope you give them a try. This is really good and it's so easy to make. It only takes me 20 minutes to make the cheesecake, but you have to let it set. That's the hard part, is waiting. And just to show you what it looks like when you cut the cheesecake, thank you again for watching, and I see you again next week. Bye.